effect in 2021. In Lower Manhattan, Rena Roy, CBSN New York.
All right, through the magic of television, joining me now to talk about the report that he was just in is Mark Peters, because he's come to the studio, and we appreciate that.
Good to be back again.
Yes, I'm glad to have you. That's you were here, you were there, but it's great to have you live. First of all, I think there's a lot of questions about the pricing here, and there seems to be some variables based on what we heard from Rena, that maybe if you priced it for different hours of the day, that might be a better idea.
Right. I mean, one of the proposals here, and I think it's important to remember that this is just a series of proposals. This is not, nobody's necessarily obligated to follow them. One of the proposals is that rather than just having one price to come into the congestion pricing zone, that there should be multiple prices depending on the time of day. The thinking being that at times of peak congestion, you want to have a higher price to try to discourage people from driving during peak times. And that strikes me as a very smart way to think about this.
And also, when we discussed this, you said that, there's always somebody trying to get around the thing. Maybe if I come in this side of Manhattan, I can avoid a higher toll or a lower toll. The other idea would be to make it uniform, correct?
Exactly. One of the things they're talking about is having uniform tolling, which means having different, in some cases even having congestion pricing pay to leave the zone for certain bridges where there's otherwise no tolling. The theory being that if it costs the same to get in and out of Manhattan, regardless of which bridge or tunnel you take, then people will take the fastest one and not be driving around adding extra congestion.
Well, yeah, that's the scam people pulled on the Verrazano, where you only go one direction and then you come in another way.
Exactly.
And they've buttoned that one up. And let me ask you about a couple other things that people always ask me. Okay, so this is another tax, because how do I know this isn't going to be wasted somewhere else as opposed to being spent on the MTA?
Well, in fact, the way the legislation is written, there's what's called a lockbox. So the money has to go to mass transit, and in fact, a big chunk of it is specifically supposed to go to the MTA. And what's interesting is a couple of days ago, the MTA came out with their proposed new capital plan for the next 5 years. And that plan, the $51 billion plan, about $15 billion of that money is money that they expect to be getting from this congestion pricing plan. So they're already essentially proposing to spend the money that's going to be earned from this plan.
And I think the other big question that nobody knows the real answer, but the logic suggests, as you did in the piece a moment ago, that this does work. Congestion pricing works.
It certainly seems to have worked in other places where they've tried it. And certainly as a matter of logic, it works. And what the RPA plan that came out today says is that it will both reduce congestion, I think they're suggesting by something like 16%, and it will come up with the money to fix mass transit. And then the goal is that it's sort of a cycle. As mass transit gets better, more people take mass transit.
In the 30 seconds or so that we have left, there must be some real political potholes for the governor and other people. When they set this pricing, there's going to be pushback somewhere, we would imagine.
Oh, there almost assuredly will be. Now, what's interesting is there's supposed to be a 6-person commission that's going to be appointed to make these decisions. And that's who's going to have to make those decisions. But yes, you can bet there'll be a lot of political pushback from a lot of sides.
Mark Peters, that's why you're here, urban affairs expert. Thank you very much.
Great to be here.
Okay, as always. And time now for a quick break. More news and information coming up. Thanks for watching.